So this is our first blog in our Beltane newsletter, and we're calling it How to Be Happy in an Unhappy World. Ah, as we said, we've dedicated Beltane newsletter to the indomitable human spirit, and I think this is the most important work that we can do as human beings. Coincidentally, it also happens to be fabulous leadership work. Because in times of uncertainty, pressure, and emotional intensity, it can feel a bit naive to bring a centered, happy place into your work environments. I think it's crucial. And I'm not talking about buzzy uplift all the time. I'm talking about something much deeper than that. I'm talking about a regulated nervous system, a calm happiness, a belief in something deeper than perhaps a surface level positivity when things are not positive. This is a state of being. It's a frequency of our emotions, a way of becoming more of what we want around us. But instead of looking outside for it, we cultivate it inside. It's deep in ourselves. It requires lots of awareness, lots of regulation ability. It requires healing your own wounds and working with your wounds. And it is a continual conscious choice. Sadly, the truth is that most of us are not responding to our own internal world. We are actually reacting to the external world. And that makes us very easy to distract. It makes us distractible, pullable, shiftable. We get off our target. But the world needs us on our target at the moment. Leadership needs us on our target. Our teams need us on target. As you know, we're a big Star Wars fan. I'm a big Star Wars fan. Our family are. And this is one of our sayings, stay on target. Really important. One of the things I want to talk about in this blog is your heart coherence, because I think it's where the work really starts. Heart breath. You've heard me talk about it a lot. You know it's on the heart math world. But if we can truly inhabit our heart coherence, we can be happy. We can be happy without being giddy. We can be joyful without being excitable. It's a deep, peaceful, embodied joy. So I really want to say again that to be happy in an unhappy world is not about Pollyanna thinking. It's not about a childish belief or only being able to talk about the positive or see the positive. Of course, you only need to look out of the world for 10 minutes or so in any city, any news bulletin to decide that the world is forsaken. My grandmother used to say we're going to hell in a handbasket. And there is, no shortage of that thinking. We're not talking about spiritual bypassing. And we're definitely not talking about suppressing our emotions. Indigo Brave has never been about that. It's about capacity. It's about building capacity to hold that reality and still choose your state. Still choose your state of being. Know that other people's strong emotions don't have to overwhelm your system. It's still not a stiff upper lip. It's not what Kipling talks about in If You Can Keep Your Head When All About Is Losing Theirs, You'll Be a Man, My Son. However, there is deep, deep wisdom in that poem. But I think now the stiff upper lip theory of keeping your head by suppressing is not the way forward. We know that it's actually very damaging for human beings. Its suppression locks things away in the body, and the body keeps the score. So it's the body that is storing all that trauma, all those difficult, challenging emotions and feelings into it, and our body will suffer. So I think that we'll take that incredible piece of art and we'll bring some extra compassion from the feminine in the movement with our emotions and our emotional life to be able to not only keep our head but keep our heart, perhaps when all about us are losing theirs. We need to build on the compassion, the heartfelt empathy, the connection of our emotional life internally, and then our ability to connect with other human beings, the indomitable human spirit, what we've got as humans. It's the very thing that makes us human. So every emotion that moves through us carries information. Perhaps some frustration points to a misalignment or a need for something to shift, something's not quite right. Anxiety can signal uncertainty or a need for some improved safety or some wondering whether we're really seeing the world as it is. And sadness and grief, of course, open us up to what truly matters. The deep grief of the reality of our short time on this planet. So when we learn to sense this emotional energy and really use it and process it, then it is to our huge benefit. Our emotions become an incredible guidance system. It's our own internal GPS. They're not obstacles to be overcome or irritations to be locked away. They're our joy. And this is our emotional mastery. So we've been working at this at Indigo Brave for 30 years, and we're truly finding profound things becoming possible. The ability to remain regulated in the face of others' dysregulation. The ability to hold our centeredness from a compassionate and empathic place, and to always be able to choose our state. Can't choose our emotions, can't choose our thoughts, but we can choose our state of being. It's a wonderful journey. And yes, we've mentioned heart math already. If you want the science, if you want the extra left brain thinking on this, fabulous. They go into it in deep, deep levels there. But in this state of being, we know actually, and you know, I'm sure, by feeling that you do experience greater clarity, resilience, emotional stability, and connection. All things that are vital for leadership and leadership at this time of uncertainty, even chaos. And when we can land into this powerful emotional truth of our being, then we know that we can develop and enhance the emotions that will create our state: appreciation, gratitude, compassion, and joy. Because joy is an inner process. It's something, all these things are coming from the inside out. It's definitely the inner game. If you've read any of those wonderful books, The Inner Game of Music, The Inner Game of Tennis, The Inner Game of Skiing, I'm sure there's loads, but it is an inner game that we're playing here on this planet. So there's going to be in the newsletter the fabulous work called by May Sarton, The Work of Happiness. And she is reminding us that happiness is not something that arrives, it's something that we participate in, something we tend to, and something that we create from how we meet the circumstances of our lives, not through the circumstances themselves. So come on, leaders, we can do this. We can hold this as a profound responsibility. Our state is not neutral. Our state affects others all the time. Well proven. They reckon that we emanate a field that can be measured just from our skin outward to easily 3 or 4 feet all the time. And if we cultivate it, it can reach so much further. So the way you show up, are you regulated or reactive? open or closed, grounded or scattered, it's going to have a huge effect. Leadership's not just about decisions and directions, it's about the emotional field that you can inspire in others. And leading from joy and love is very skillful. It's a high level skill, requires huge awareness and discipline and a willingness to do all that inner work in a game. But it is so worth it. It asks, can I stay connected to my heart if others are in fear, confusion, anxiety? Can I remain open when it would be so much easier to shut down? Can I choose coherence even when I am challenged? And then happiness stops being something that we chase, that we want from out there, because we cannot control this world. Definitely not. But we can generate our internal state and we can be the change we want to see. Steady, grounded, authentic, honest, joyful. Thank you. See you on the next vlog.